Hey there, friend. You wake up to the gentle rock of the sea, coffee brewing on a tiny galley stove, no alarm clock, just the horizon calling your name. If you're over 50 and dreaming of trading the rat race for a life afloat without breaking the bank, stick around. Today, we're diving into 5 budget-friendly sailboats that can actually become your floating home. The Island Packet 31, the unsinkable cozy cruiser that handles like a dream. You know, the Island Packet 31 isn't just a boat. It's like that trusty pickup truck that's hauled you through life's back roads without a hitch. Built in the 80s and 90s, this cutter-rigged beauty sports a long, full keel that's the backbone of her seaworthiness, forgiving in heavy weather, tracking straight without an autopilot babysitting you. Her solid fiberglass hull, laid up thick with triaxial cloth, shrugs off groundings like a pro, and at 11,000 pounds displacement, she sits low and stable, cutting through chop with a motion that's more cradle than roller coaster. I've seen her kin punch through Gulf Stream gales and come out grinning, thanks to that encapsulated ballast keeping her upright when others heel over. This one's a gem for solo sailors or empty nester couples easing into senior seafaring. Easy to single hand, with lines that lead aft for lazy afternoons at the helm. Pros: bulletproof build means low maintenance worries. Surprisingly, roomy V-berth and saloon for overnight guests. Cons: her weight makes her a bit hokey upwind. Freshwater tanks on the small side for long hauls without resupply. One buyer tip: always survey the chain plates. Those stainless fittings can hide corrosion from years of salt spray. Price range: $30,000 to $50,000. The Cape Dory 30 reminds me of those black and white photos of old salts in oilskins, but with modern guts to back it up. Launched in the late 70s, her full keel design, cut just right for balance, makes her a tracking machine in cross seas, while the narrow 9-foot beam slips through tight passes like she was born for it. That solid fiberglass hull, hand-laid without a whisper of core material, pairs with 10,000 pounds of displacement and 4,000 pounds of encapsulated lead ballast for a ride that's stiff yet forgiving. I've bounced her off sandbars in the ICW and watched her shrug it off like a bad joke. Seaworthiness? She's crossed oceans on a whim. Her moderate draft of 4 feet, letting you tuck into creeks others envy. Perfect for the lone wolf or a couple who values simplicity over sprawl. Her cockpit's a throne for one, but room enough for 2 to share a sundowner. Pros: timeless lines turn heads at every marina. Exceptional value retention means she's an investment, not a sinkhole. Cons: tight headroom in the saloon might cramp taller frames after a decade ashore. Sail plans conservative, so light airs test your patience. Buyer tip: check the teak trim for dry rot. Charming as it is, it drinks moisture like a sponge if not sealed right. Price range: $20,000 to $40,000. The Gulf 32 pens the epics, a no-nonsense cutter from the 60s and 70s that's all about getting you there, come hell or high water. Her long keel, sweeping from bow to stern, is the secret to her directional stability, slicing through swells like a hot knife, while the 10-foot beam keeps her from feeling like a bathtub toy. At 16,000 pounds displacement with 6,500 pounds of ballast locked inside that fiberglass fortress, she's got the bones to take a pounding. I've heard yarns of her laughing off force 8 winds in the Atlantic. Her moderate hull speed of 6.5 knots, trading flash for endurance. That pilot house option, a godsend for rainy watches, blending motor sailor utility with pure sail soul. Ideal for adventurous duos chasing horizons, her cutter rig splits the work. Perfect for tag team sailing without exhaustion. Pros: tank-like construction shrugs off abuse. Generous fuel and water tanks for self-sufficient weeks afloat. Cons: older electrics might need a refresh. Her weight slows tacking in fluky winds. Buyer tip: probe the keel hull joint for delamination. Decades of flex can hide cracks. Price range: $20,000 to $40,000. The Islander 36 is your ticket to spirited days and restful nights. Designed in the 70s by Alan Gurney, for folks who crave a touch of racer's thrill in cruiser clothes. Her fin keel and skeg rudder combo, drafting 6 feet standard, grips like a vice in puffs. Yet the 11.2-foot beam opens up a cockpit that's social without sprawl. Weighing 13,450 pounds, displacement with 5,450 pounds ballast, she's lively yet composed. I've skippered her on reaches where she hums at 7 knots. Her fiberglass hull, single skin, no cores to worry, flexing just enough to soothe the ride through short, steep waves. Seaworthiness shines in her balanced underwater profile, proven on trades from California to Hawaii. This beauty suits couples or solo retirees who want versatility, quick enough for day sails, comfy for monsoon season marinas. Pros: lively performance perks up passages. Classic lines age like fine scotch, always in style. Cons: deck hardware from the era, leaks if not babied. Lighter displacement means stowing heavy gear low. Tip: test the chain plates and mast step. Aluminum spars can sweat condensation over time. Price range: $20,000 to $40,000. The Endeavour 37 is where comfort meets capability in a hull that whispers, "Settle in." From the mid-70s onward, this sloop's fin, keel with skeg-hung rudder strikes a sweet spot, deep enough at 4.5 feet for grip in blue water trades, yet shallow for gun coaling. Her fiberglass hull, molded integrally with the keel and poured full of lead ballast, clocks in at a hefty 20,000 pounds displacement, giving her the inertia to steamroll through beam seas without drama. I've logged miles on her sisters from Florida to the Bahamas, marveling at how that weight damps down the fuss. The moderate beam of 11.5 feet widens the interior without sacrificing manners, making her a seaworthy steed for coastal hops or island jaunts. She's tailor-made for live-aboard couples in their golden years. Aft cabin layout with a proper queen berth feels like cheating on a budget. Pros: cavernous storage swallows gear for extended stays. Walk-through design flows like a well-planned condo. Cons: her heft demands respect under power in tight spots. Watch for gel coat blisters from resin shortcuts in early builds. Tip: budget for a rigging inspection. Those wire stays age like us, quietly until they don't. Price range: $25,000 to $45,000.